put bells on you again, I'm boycotting. Like, what a fool. Oh, shit. Wrong one. Hold on. All right, E-Rob. Well, hopefully you can hear all my sounds that I have for you. But what up? What up? This is Renee. This is Speaking Out Loud. Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but the good old John Borba himself bailed yet again. Somewhat like his team. They just don't show up. It happens. But, Earl, before we get going, let me just tell the people this show is sponsored by Amity Boutique. When your girl's all pissed, you know how to make her happy. Get her some food along with a piece of clothing. Check out Amity Boutique NM on Facebook and get your order in ASAP. Also, my buddy Irvin Rangel and his lady have just opened up La Gabita. They got a Sunday special 32-ounce cup. They got all the goodies in the bread for $10. You can get menudo or pozole. Check them out. La Gabita. Comida Mexicana. Check it out. Get your order in today. It's not too late. If you're feeling lazy, they will take it directly to you. So make sure you get that in ASAP. All right, E-Rob, let's get this party started, man. I know you're a little upset over that PI we were just talking about before the show started, but we're over college football. It's Sunday now, right?
That's right. Let's move on to NFL.
Yeah, we got a lot of money riding on today. So I'm a little bit nervous going into today, but I'm excited. But
Yeah,
Earl,
I
let's
don't
start.
like looking at our Bovada account and seeing 0 up top.
I know. I wanted to. I was like thinking about placing like another wager, and I'm like, yeah, there's nothing there to bet unless I have to make that deposit. And like you said, it's not real until you make a deposit.
Yep.
All right, E-Rob, Espresso Round. Let's get a little loose. Some fun facts here. Let's see if you got it. If you don't, take a sip of your coffee for me. All right.
Right.
All right. Antonio Gates played college football.
True.
It's actually false. He was a power forward at Kent State, and then he tried out as a free agent and made the team.
Nice.
Actually, when I saw that, I had to like double check the source, and I went on to ESPN to like make sure it was legit because that seems fake, right?
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
Yeah,
Like,
for
I had
sure.
no idea. I was guessing 50-50. This is the NFL, not the NBA. Like,
I figured I'd get you on that. That was actually gonna be Borbas' question because I knew he was gonna fail too, so he would have had to take a shot.
nice.
Next one, Rob Gronkowski has his own cereal brand.
I'm gonna go true.
Yeah,
That seems like a Gronk thing to do.
Yeah, right. They're called Gronk Flakes, and it's a family of like Frosted Flakes and all that. I've
Nice.
never seen them, but he's got them.
I probably would have guessed he had his own vodka or something over cereal, but
That's for sure. At least some type of beer, right?
Yeah.
Tim Tebow was on MTV in high school.
True.
Yeah. He was on a show called 2 Days. They did an episode where they were following like some high school team, and that high school was playing Tim Tebow's high school. So he wasn't really a reality star, but he was on there. So cheers. Good thing this isn't whiskey. All right, last one. Reggie Bush and Alex Smith were teammates in high school.
False.
True. They were actually teammates in high school.
I knew that. I was just thirsty.
That's what it was. All right, man, let's move on. So we got here. Where's the pressure at? I sent this to you, and I also posted it on Facebook, so that way people could throw in their input. But let's go. Dolphins coaching starting Tua against Aaron Donald or Bill Belichick. Are they in trouble? Who's got the more pressure right now? Dolphins coaching or Bill Belichick?
I'm gonna go Dolphins coaching because Fitzpatrick was playing so well. And I mean, I get it. He's like 37, 38, so he's not the future of that franchise. But if you put two in against, the Rams defense and he gets hurt or he plays like crap, like there may be no coming back from that. I don't really see the reason that they're making the switch from Fitzpatrick. I would have sat Tua for the whole year. but that's just me.
Yeah, I didn't understand that move either, and I'm going to agree with you there too. I think they also kind of set him up going against a defensive line that is known to get to the quarterback, and not only get to him, but man, they throw the shit out of them to the ground. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen there. I do think they pulled the trigger a little bit too soon, especially with Miami. They weren't playing too bad, and it really wasn't Ryan Fitzpatrick's fault that they were even losing those games that they were losing. So
right,
I feel like they set him up, but this is going to be either make or break, I think.
Yeah, I mean the Dolphins are 3-3. Like the Bills are 5-2, so they're not out of that division race. But who knows? Like they're the ones that watch Tua practice every day, so maybe he's lighting it up, and they think it's time to throw him in.
Yeah, I mean he had a couple snaps that last game. They are coming off a bye week, so they've been able to really scout what the Rams are going to do. But I mean, at the end of the day, the Rams are going to rush. That's what's going to happen. It's a matter of how many people are you going to put in Aaron Donald's direction and who else is going to show up. So It's going to be interesting. Let's move on to Lamar Jackson or Carson Wentz. You got Lamar Jackson. A bunch of critics are criticizing him as far as being able to play well against elite teams. Most importantly, throwing the ball. And then you got Carson Wentz on the other side, who is playing a Cowboys team that, I mean, cannot be respected whatsoever. Yeah, garbage, exactly. So, I mean, they got third-string quarterback at that. The only thing good for Dallas at the moment is Zach Martin's coming back. I believe Sean Lee might play. They got their linebackers. As far as that goes, this should be an easy win for Carson Wentz. Who do you feel has the most pressure going into today?
I'm going to say Lamar Jackson, and two reasons. One, I don't think Wentz has very much pressure today because I think he could play pretty poorly and they'll still beat the Cowboys, just, given that Dak's not playing and whatnot. I think the Eagles should beat Dallas regardless of how Wentz plays. So I think the pressure's on Lamar because, I mean, this is a division game. Like this could determine whether the Ravens or the Steelers win that division. And then also it's against a very good defense. So Lamar's got to go out there and show that he can make some throws when they load the box and beat a division rival.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to agree with you. I mean, I do think I'm going to disagree with you as far as Carson Wentz not having any pressure. I feel like there's a crap ton of pressure on him to perform today. Like, I mean, I agree with you. He doesn't have to have a great game, but he has to ball out. I mean, he has no receivers whatsoever. The offensive line, I mean, they're just about as weak as Dallas. When you think about it, the only difference is that their defense somewhat plays well. They got a good defensive pass rush, and they got Carson Wentz. So I've been saying this over and over and over. I mean, this guy's a $100 million quarterback. You got to start acting like it at some point, or start playing like it, not acting like it. So I think you got to put the pressure on Carson Wentz, because if you lose to Dallas, I mean, the division's wide open, regardless of who wins. Because I mean, Dallas can go and lose to the Giants. You know what I mean? And then Dallas has San Francisco or Pittsburgh coming in next week. So I mean, like, it's wide open, but I do think that you have to take a handle of the division now, and Carson Wentz needs to get it done. Let's go. We got Jimmy G. I'm his biggest critic, or I feel like I'm his biggest critic. I continue to criticize this guy on throwing the ball. They're winning games, but it's all through running. I still don't feel comfortable with this guy ever winning the 49ers a big game. Or do you think Baker Mayfield is in a little bit more trouble than Jimmy G going into the week?
Man, that's tough. I think that, like, I want to say that Jimmy G is in more trouble, more pressure, whatever. But I feel like it's just accepted. Like the 49ers built that team to run the football and play defense. So I feel like as long as Jimmy G doesn't throw 4 interceptions like he did against the Dolphins, like he's not getting pulled. Like they're asking him to be a game manager. Whereas Baker Mayfield, like you were the number 1 overall draft pick. You had Odell and Landry and Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, right? Like they were supposed to, on paper, like that team was stacked. The defense was stacked. So I think that the pressure's on Baker more so than Jimmy G, but part of that's just the situation that they're put in.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I agree with you 100%. I think all the pressure's on Baker Mayfield. The guy has to perform, and a lot of the shows this week we're talking about how Odell's out for the rest of the year, right? Torn ACL. That they think that was a lot of the issues going on with Baker Mayfield feeling the pressure to throw to their number one wide receiver, blah, blah, so on and so forth. He ends up throwing 5 touchdowns when Odell leaves against Cincinnati. Then again, that's Cincinnati. This is the type of game that we're talking about where you need to win. Is Oakland a great defense? Hell no. You're set up to have a great game. So if you don't, I think this is Baker's last straw. They're going to pull him if he doesn't perform today.
Perform as in not lose the game, or are you talking he's got to go out and throw for 350?
No, I think he has to go out, manage the game well, and he's probably going to have to make about 1, 2, or 3 really good passes to win that game. At the end of the day, it's going to be about the win. If they don't pull this win off and it's because of him, he's getting pulled. And of course, if he comes out and throws 2 interceptions right off the bat, I think we don't even see him by halftime.
Yeah. I don't know what their backup quarterback situation looks like, but okay. Yeah.
If you remember, Case Keenum made that run with Minnesota and Stefanski. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of early to give up on a number 1 draft pick. But this is year 3 for him.
Yeah.
So getting close to the point that you got to make a decision whether you're going to extend him or not.
There's no denying that this team has the talent. I mean, gosh, even without Odell, they're still pretty loaded.
Yeah. The problem is that division is just so tough.
Oh, yeah.
Minus the Bengals.
Yeah, they're way stacked for sure. I mean, even the Bengals, you can make an argument that they're going to be decent going forward as soon as they start bringing pieces around JoJo there. But I thought the Browns. I didn't think Pittsburgh was going to be as great as they are, honestly, going into the season. My only thing is if Big Ben can stay healthy, and I think that's still the question: can he stay healthy? And we'll touch on that in just a little bit, but let's move on. Let's go on to a little segment called "Get Off Me." I just got a couple clips here for you, Earl, and just direct it. Let's see. Hopefully you can see it, my guy.
Yep, I can see it.
All right. Can't get it any bigger.
I'm blind.
Yeah, no, there, I got you.
Get off me!
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
20 straight completions for Mayfield. Looking for more, taking a shot.
Is it on your screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, cool. So you got Baker Mayfield making that deep pass. One of very many good passes. Got to see that mistake yet again. Here we go, Justin Herbert. This guy has an arm. Get off me, boy.
Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks. I mean, he's a gunslinger.
My boy got my fantasy stud.
This week?
Every week. Unless they're playing Green Bay.
Oh, yeah. That was such a dime. Tom Brady has so many weapons. Goodwin is out today, but I'm expecting Antonio Brown to light it up with Goodwin being out.
I don't think Brown plays till next week.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
I showed that he was playing today.
That was a nice
I could be
throw.
wrong.
There's your $100 million boy making a throw.
Yep, there he is. That was still clutch. And that was the game. Obviously, that was the game. That was a 28th ranked pass defense, so. Ooh! Reminds me of my hike it, spike it days, Earl.
Yeah, that reminds me when Jared Cook made that sideline catch against the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Nobody wants to hear about that, guy. Come on now. Why are we bringing up old shit? Yeah, buddy. That was a nice snag, though. What a nice place ball by Drew Brees. Oh, this play was so nice. Kyle Murray, as soon as he saw the one-on-one, he saw him again. I thought that was cold.
They got Hopkins for a washed-up running back in the fourth.
Man, and what's his name's fired now? That's so sad.
Bill O'Brien.
Yeah,
It's so sad.
he's not even worth saying his name.
Yeah, what a joke of a trade.
I mean, I do better. I do better as a GM on Madden than he does in real life. Does that count?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, man. This is supposed to be Borbas segment, but Borba's not here. So Earl's gonna take it over. Borba's matchup nightmare. Whoosh, whoosh. Earl's nightmare. What, E-Rob? What you got, man?
Devontae Adams against the Vikings. It was a matchup nightmare week 1, and that Vikings defense is just getting worse every week that they go on. I think both players are banged up. There's no pass rush, but that secondary, like, look what the Falcons just did to the Vikings, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
In Minnesota. Like, the Packers don't have, 2 number 1 receivers like the Falcons do, and Ridley and Julio, but I think Devontae is going to go off even without Aaron Jones.
Yeah, and Williams is a solid backup, and I mean, I think he's also a good guy out of the backfield to make catches. But Devontae and Aaron Rodgers are probably the best duo in the NFL right now, or they are the best duo in the NFL right now. I mean, these guys together are averaging the most passing yards together. And Devontae Adams, yards after catch, this guy's unbelievable right now. You can't tackle him. You can't go low. You can't go high. You got to wrap up.
Yep.
And I agree, man. That guy's going to go off today. There's no way in the world that the Minnesota Vikings are going to be able to contain him, especially missing 2 corners. One's injured and the other one's on the COVID IR list. So don't look good. Doesn't look good.
Does not.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all, though. I think Borbas trying to tank for Lawrence.
The Vikings are tanking for Lawrence.
Yeah,
I feel like half the NFL is tanking for Lawrence.
Yeah. After last night, man, I think his stock value did go up. We were talking about that. I definitely think his stock value went up.
He's going to be the number 1 pick regardless of what happens. I mean,
I didn't watch the Ohio State game last night. Did Justin Fields look pretty solid? I know they ended up pulling away and put up 38.
I didn't watch it either. I was crying myself to sleep after that Oklahoma State loss to the refs. Anyway, let's move on.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go there. All right, man, let's go into some quick picks. Borba had his lined up, so me and you will just take over those. We'll just go through them quick. Get your pick, quick breakdown. Let's start off with the Colts versus the Lions.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna take the Lions.
They're coming off a good win.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford's finally. It seems like they're finally clicking offensively. So I'm going to agree with you there too. I feel like the Colts. I mean, they're just so inconsistent. Like they can honestly win this game. This is kind of a 50-50 game. Really, you're just kind of it's just a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts. They're so inconsistent. You don't ever know what Phillip Rivers is going to bring. And with that being said, Matthew Stafford always balls out. So I got the Lions as well. Chargers and Broncos.
I'm gonna take the Chargers.
You like Justin?
Well, yeah, I do.
He's definitely their franchise quarterback. Is that established?
Without a doubt.
Yeah, this guy's legit. Would you take him or Joe?
I feel like it's too early to call, but I mean, from what I've seen, I would take Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 50-50. I think it's the same thing, coin flip, because I mean Joe Burrow is killing it without an offensive line at that.
Right.
And you got to think that the Chargers, I mean they really are set up to win now, once they get all those injuries back. But so next year's gonna look nice. Next year is gonna look nice. I got the Chargers winning as well. It's pretty cold out there in Denver, but I think the Chargers pull it off. It's gonna be a close one though. Another one I would stay away from betting because it's a coin flip. Bucks and Giants. This is the Monday Night Football game. I'm gonna have to double check if Antonio Brown's playing, so I'll say that here in just a bit. But Bucks and Giants, I think this one's easy. Bucks are going to
Yeah.
completely wipe the floor with them. I don't know. The Sunday night football and the Monday night football game might be the worst scheduled games to be shown in the NFL this year. I don't know how the hell the Cowboys and Eagles still stayed on Sunday night football. Does not make sense. Or how the hell the Bucks and Giants got on Monday night football.
Or the Eagles and Giants last week on was that Monday or Sunday night? Like,
it was actually a pretty good game, but it's just sad when you start thinking about like what's on the line. And then you always go back to this is the NFCs. How embarrassing. But all right, let's go. I had you go over this one: Jets and Chiefs.
Chiefs,
Easy money.
That's a 21-point spread.
Yeah. It's kind of 21 points is a lot in the NFL. That's typically something you see in college. Do you feel like that's tempting?
No.
No,
like,
no way.
I don't know. I just rather stay away from that. Like the Chiefs could put up 45 points like against anybody. So I don't even know who's on the Jets team anymore.
Yeah.
Like, did they trade everybody?
They're working on it. They are working on it. Hey, Le'Veon Bell. I mean, the interesting part about this is Le'Veon Bell is going back to New York. Do you think Le'Veon Bell has a game, or do you think Andy Reid still kind of plays it as he goes? You know, gives him a couple of touches, but nothing extreme.
I think Clyde Edwards has a game. I think signing Le'Veon Bell is going to be like the equivalent of the Packers drafting Jordan Love in the first round. Like it's going to light a fire underneath him. And I think Clyde is going to start to – I mean, he was already doing well, especially for a rookie running back, but I think he's just going to step it up even more.
Honestly, if you don't follow football, you would have never thought that the guy was even a rookie. That's how good he's playing.
Yeah. So. With that said, I think Bell will get a few additional touches. He'll probably get some garbage time score, but like Le'Veon's not the same back that he was when he signed with the Jets 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, I'm hoping he goes off. Shout out DraftKings. But
I'm not, because I got Clyde.
I just spilled one of my DraftKings guys to you.
Your team's never very good. I'm not worried about it,
bro. We're in week 8, and I started late. I think I started in week 3 with y'all. I've already won 2, and I got in second place once. So 3 out of 5. I'm doing, or 3 out of 5.
You must have stopped putting Zeke, Dak, and Cooper in your lineup every week.
I did. That's exactly what happened. Betting sucks if your team sucks. All right, man. Let's go. Rams and Dolphins. We kind of broke this down just a little bit with Tua. How do you think this game's going to turn out?
I got to take the Rams. I mean, it's tough to pick a rookie quarterback to win against a good defense, like with no prior experience, right? There was no preseason. Like he came in for 5 plays 2 weeks ago. I don't think that the Dolphins will beat the Rams, but I don't think it'll be a blowout. Like I think Tua will play decent, and I'm not completely sold on the Rams either. Like their offense is so hot and cold. So I think it'll be a close game, but I got to take the Rams.
Yeah, me too. I also don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Rams pull it off defensively. I mean, the one thing their identity is defense. I think for the Rams. And then on offense, like you said, it's kind of wishy-washy. But at the end of the day, they got to continue to run the ball. That's what they do, and that's what McVay lives off of. So if they get away from that and expect Jared Goff to sling the rock 40, 45 times, that's when it starts getting dicey. So as long as they stay away from that, I see the Rams winning this game easily as well. Let's go Titans-Bengals. I think the Titans coming off a real tight win last week, or tight loss last week. I think they pull this off. I think it's an easy win. I think the Bengals put up some points, but at the end of the day, the offensive line is not very good. The Titans' pass defense really isn't that great, so they're going to have some yards on them. But at the end of the day, the Titans pull away there towards the end once they pound it and beat it down.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that the Bengals will put up some points. Like you mentioned, the Titans' pass defense isn't very good, but I think Derrick Henry's going to run for like 200 yards against that Bengals front seven.
Yeah. He's gonna make my get off me clip next week for sure. Let's this game. I actually wanted to talk about this game a little bit more. I don't know why I put it on the quick picks, but we'll make it quick anyways. The Patriots and the Bills. The Patriots are pretty much missing just about everyone. Their only last receiver that was decent was Henry. Not even decent, but he's out as well. And then Gilmore's out too, and Gilmore's pissed because they didn't extend him. He wants a contract extension, blah, 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 and he's on the trading block. So I think that also pissed him off. I feel like Bill Belichick's starting to lose this team, but I mean, that's no problem. I think they fix it next year. Like they're missing 7 players to opting out of the season. So I think they figure it out next year. But this year, just take the L's as they come. And today I think they get another one. And this is one of the games that we're kind of riding heavy on. So I don't want to make you nervous, Earl, but from what I got is the weather's pretty shitty out there. They got rain. They got wind up to like 20 miles an hour. Do you feel like that's going to impact the game, or do you think that's kind of what the Bills live for?
Yeah, I feel like that's just a product playing in New York, right? Like, sure, I think it'll impact the game. It's going to be more of a defensive game, defense and run the ball, but I think that's right up the Bills' alley. Plus, you can still take some deep shots, and that's what the Bills do. That's why they traded for Stephon Diggs, especially with Gilmore out. Like, it probably favors the Patriots more than it does the Bills, just because the Patriots are missing Gilmore, like you said. So it will make it tougher to throw the ball. And if you're, missing your number one corner, that's obviously a good thing. But I think the Bills should still win pretty easily. Yeah.
We got to bet in on this one at -4 or 4.5?
4.
All right, cool. -4. I still think they pull it off. I'm not really nervous, but when I saw that, I was like, damn, that means that we're going to have to run the ball. And New England's actually not bad at running the ball. The way Cam Newton's been playing, I kind of wanted to see him throw it because I feel that's where White comes in, gets a pick 6, pick 12 if he throws 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But
is White playing? He's been out the last couple weeks.
As far as I know, he is. Josh Norman's out this week though. So, but Josh Norman isn't a bad number 2 quarterback. I think.
No, he's not.
He's definitely not a number 1 anymore, but he's a solid number 2.
Watching him get stiff-armed by Derrick Henry was probably the best thing ever, though.
Yeah, that's definitely people's poster. Yeah. That is a poster you want for sure. I'd wear that on a t-shirt.
He's the type of person that you see gets just stiff-armed or trucked and you just like it.
Yeah. He's definitely one of those persons. All that shit talking he's done for years. So yeah. Definitely well deserved.
For sure.
All right, let's see what else we got. We got the Cowboys and Eagles. The Eagles should mop the floor with us. This should be an easy game. The Eagles should win this 35 or 30-10. I'm going to be excited if we score a touchdown. I don't know how to say our quarterback's name. But he came from like James Madison. He transferred from Pitt. Rex Ryan said it better. He's like, there's one reason that he transferred from Pitt, and it was because he couldn't play good there. So he had to move to James Madison.
Yeah.
For that reason, Philadelphia should win this game.
I agree. It should be easy win for Philly.
Yeah. And damn, I just hope this guy doesn't get knocked the hell out. I just want to see some passion. I think Sean Lee brings a little bit of hope to this team as far as having that alpha there to kind of push them defensively and maybe even offensively. The last thing that Philly wants to do is give this young guy any type of fire to get it rolling, because we've seen that in NFL. All you got to do is play one game well and get a couple of nice throws to get you rolling. If Philly does that, that will get a little bit dicey. But Philly should win this game easily. All right, man. Vikings, Packers, kind of another similar situation there. except you're on the good end of that one, not the bad end.
Yeah, I mean, they still got Kirk Cousins. Like, they got their whole offense. So they're going to score some points, but I think that their defense is in for a long day. And I think our defense will get some stops. Dalvin Cook is still one of the best running backs. He's going to have a good game, but ultimately, I think the Packers should win by 10 points.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully.
Yeah, at least by 6.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. I mean, Dalvin Cook's easily top 5 running back as long as he can stay healthy. A lingering hamstring injury, though, you don't want to play with that. So I think they kind of hold him back.
Weather, that doesn't help.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they kind of hold him back just a little bit and don't completely unleash him. And really, that's the only hope that they have on that team. With the lingering hamstring injury, I just don't see them making this game competitive. And I think the Packers will mop the floor with them.
I hope so.
All right, let's go. Let's move on. Let's break down these 2 games. You got the Saints versus the Bears. So majority of these games, the weather is crazy. I mean, we're already in November. So that's typically when the weather starts to get a little wild. So Saints and Bears, no Michael Thomas. And
is that in Chicago or New Orleans?
What was that?
Is that in Chicago or New Orleans?
It's in Chicago. And the wind's at like 25 the last I checked.
Yeah, I got to take the Bears as much as it kills me to say. That defense is really good, and without Michael Thomas, like, you really just have to focus on Kamara, and the Saints on the road are just not as good as in New Orleans in that dome. I think Drew Brees is going to struggle to throw the football if it's that windy. I think you can clearly see he struggles to throw the ball down the field as it is, let alone if he's got to battle some wind. That'll be a tough matchup.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you there too. And it all comes down to Alvin Kamara. How well is he going to play coming out of the backfield? This not necessarily in the pass game. This guy's got to be elite running the ball today. There's no way around it with the wind blowing the way it is. Like you said, Drew Brees has already got it questionable as far as him being able to throw the ball down the field. This is Alvin Kamara's type of game. He's got to ball out, but that defense doesn't give up very much. So I think the Bears edge this out and get a 24-21 victory.
It's a lot of points.
Yeah. I have no faith in Nick Foles, though. So that's the only thing.
Especially after watching him against that Rams defense.
Yeah.
Like, the Rams defense is decent, but it's not. I mean, it's good. The Rams have a good defense, but it's not like it's the best defense in the league, and they couldn't do anything against them.
Oh, yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong here, or let me know what you think. But whenever I watch Nick Foles play, I really think that I don't know that he really reads through his options. I feel like he already kind of knows where he's going to go, and then he just throws it to that area, and it's a matter of whether or not that receiver is going to be there or not. Do you kind of get the same impression from it?
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he does that every single time, but like a lot of his deep throws, like I just feel like he kind of airs it out to open space, and then he kind of hopes that his receiver is going to come out under it.
Yeah,
which is where it leads to
all of his reads every play. I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's why I think he's wishy-washy, and that's why I don't think he's as successful as what people would probably think he should be. But let's see how he does today. Typically, whenever nobody gives a shit about him, that's when he starts to perform. So I'm not going to be surprised if he has a good game today.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, kind of off topic, but with Mitch Trubisky, isn't he do they have to pick up his 5th-year option this year? Is that next?
No, they declined it already.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's probably walking.
Yeah, I don't think he has a choice. They might be walking him out. Like, they're going to hold his hand and all right, buddy.
Never forget that they traded up from 3 to 2 to pick him when Mahomes,
Lamar
Jackson, and Deshaun Watson were all drafted later.
Yo, that's so crazy. Whenever that happened, I was confused. I'm not a Bears fan, and I don't really follow them very well, but I was confused because the guy had only played like 8 games in college, and it was with North Carolina. I mean, the ACC already in college football isn't good at all. I mean, I don't – in the ACC, who's really good?
Outside of Clemson, nobody.
Yeah. And then even Clemson, I mean, people even put question marks on Clemson as far as getting to the national championship because their strength of schedule is so bad. So it's kind of like, why would you move up and take that big of a risk on a guy that hadn't even really performed that great? It was a lot of hype coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole shit was super confusing to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's the Cowboys' free agency plans to replace Dak.
Mitch Trubisky. Jesus. Nah. I would rather sit on Cooper Rush. Dallas did re-sign Cooper Rush this past week. So, oh man, that's so sad. That Trubisky might go down with like what was his name that the Raiders moved up for?
Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, gosh. Like, as a GM, how do you go to sleep at night, right? You're just
that's why the first round, like everybody wants to crown champions for the Super Bowl after the first round of the draft. And it's like 50% of these picks are going to be busts. Like it happens every year. They're doing, mock draft redos, and like every other pick is somebody that was drafted in like the fourth round. Like, I think it's hilarious when they do draft grades like right after the draft because like nobody knows anything. You're just grading a team's draft based on how you ranked those players. And like if that player fell to the fifth round, like you think you're smarter than every other team, but like you're probably not. Same thing, like we're moving on to Niners, Seahawks, like same thing with DK Metcalf. Like every team passed on him, twice? And now he's like, looks like he's going to be one of the best receivers in the league for a long time.
Yeah, and I didn't understand how so many teams passed. I was actually kind of pissed because I thought that was when we were going to make a move on a receiver. I mean, the guy was the only thing that they talked about because of his pro day. I mean, the guy was an animal on his 40-yard dash. He was a beast in the bench press. His vertical was insane. Like he was just blowing everything out of the water. I think the only questions going into it was, can this guy run routes or is he just a deep threat? I think that was like the only question. But I feel like you can teach technique. Like at some point you can't teach just a freak of nature. Like there's only so many people built with the type of body like LeBron James or DJ Metcalf at how we're talking. There's not very many people that are built like that. So you got to take advantage of it. And technique comes with coaches. That's the purpose of having a coach, to teach technique. So I was confused as hell whenever everyone passed on DJ.
Completely agree. Watching him chase down Budda Baker, save that pick six, and then they ended up going for it, not getting any points, just made it so much better. I mean, I wanted Arizona to win, but that play was hilarious.
Hey, your little stud isn't completely walking yet, but just wait till your little guy starts running away from you and Anna, and then you guys are gonna look like DK chasing that little guy. That's exactly what it looked like. He's such a beast. He looked like he was chasing a toddler.
Yeah. All right. Well, my pick for this game is I'm going to take Seattle. I don't think the Niners can score enough to keep up with Seattle. And that Niners defense without Joey Bosa, and like if they put Richard Sherman on DK Metcalf, then DK is going to run a seam every play and score every other play because Richard Sherman is way too slow for that. So I'm taking Seattle. I think they'll win by like 10 points. I don't think it'll be that competitive.
God damn. What I mean, you realize that Seattle's defense isn't like good at all.
Seattle's got like a top 10 run defense. Their pass defense is not great, but when Jimmy Garoppolo is your quarterback, I mean, we can pretty much dress you and Borba up to play DB.
God damn. There you go. There you go. Dude, I can't even argue that. I agree with you 100%. I do think this is going to be a little bit closer game than what you anticipate, but I agree. At the end of the day, it's John Borba or Renee back there at quarterback handing the ball off. So I got Seattle winning. I don't know about by that big. I think 10 points. I guess that's pretty big in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a close game. And then Russell Wilson pulls the final drive to put him up by 10 and then ice it.
It's in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be
10 points.
so loud because they're pumping all that noise in there.
Yeah. That's the 13th man.
Yeah. We got 13 minutes left, so let's roll through this. We got the Raiders versus the Browns. We kind of touched on the pressure with the Browns. This game also 35 mile an hour winds. They're expecting rain, and they're expecting the wind to get up to about 50.
I'm gonna take the Raiders. I like how the Raiders have been playing lately, and I just don't trust the Browns. Like on paper, the Browns should win, right? They've got all the talent, but I'm gonna take the Raiders. I think that they've been playing well, and I think Jacobs will be able to run the ball.
I'm gonna go with the Browns. I'm not trying to jump on the hype train. I just think that with the weather, given the weather, I think it actually favors them because they're a ground and pound type of team, so it's going to force them to run the ball. I don't think we'll see the ball in Baker Mayfield's hands so much, but I hope to see him perform. Also, the Raiders' defense has been giving up way too much. I mean, they can't stop the run, they can't stop the pass. They kind of look like the Dallas Cowboys defensively, so I just don't feel like they can stop them. I got the Browns winning this. I'm going to say like 20-17, somewhere around there. The Raiders they're inconsistent, but I just don't think they're good. I don't think they're that good. Last one. This is what should have been the Sunday night football game, but instead it's at 11 o'clock here in 12 minutes. I don't know how the hell that happens. But Steelers versus Ravens. We kind of touched on Lamar Jackson just a little bit. I mean, this Steelers defense is definitely ranked top 5. Maybe it's either 1 or 2 right now, depending on how you look at it, or what's more important, the pass defense or the rush defense. But the team's stout, man. The weather's not that great either. It's supposed to push about 20 miles an hour by game time. I think that's going to have some sort of effect on this game, but I think it favors Baltimore. Like the same situation as I said about the Browns. It's going to force them to run the ball. I was actually interested in seeing Lamar Jackson being forced to throw the ball, and I think we'll still kind of see that a little bit. But I think to edge it out, I think they're going to set up a bunch of runs for Lamar Jackson to get him out, get him hot, get him rolling. And then once that starts going, the defense is going to kind of open up. And really, Big Ben, what he threw 3 interceptions last week during the second half, the Titans started getting rolling. Big Ben kind of scares me, and he scares me going into this game. I'm not comfortable with Big Ben, especially with a team that blitzes about 75% of the time. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think the Ravens should win that game. I think it'll be low scoring, and it'll be an ugly game. But like you said, the weather's a huge factor there, and it favors the Ravens because if the Steelers can't throw the ball deep, that's their offense is Claypool and Juju and Deontay Johnson. Like they got really good receivers that can beat you deep. And if there's 20-mile-an-hour winds, that makes it tough to throw the football. And so that favors the Ravens for sure. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be like a 17-20 win for the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was going to go with 17-14, somewhere around there. My biggest question mark is on Big Ben. I think the Steelers are the best team in the NFL right now, but I think going into Baltimore, the weather, it's not suited for them. And
Ravens coming off a bye week.
Yeah, exactly. The Steelers just had a crazy game last week. I mean, and for that defense being so great, I mean, they still are kind of giving up some points against good teams. I'm sure they're averaging only 20 points a game, but against good teams, they're giving up over 25. So it's going to be a good one.
They do have the number 1 rush defense. So that'll be interesting to see how – it'll be a fun battle to watch, the Ravens trying to run the ball. But I feel like the Ravens running the ball is just like a different breed of offense, right? Because you have Lamar Jackson. Like nobody else has a QB that runs like that.
Yeah, for sure. Especially someone that runs a 4.2. Like, goddamn. It's crazy. But I got the Steelers winning this, man. All right, E-Rob, I appreciate you joining me, man. Thank you so much. This is Speaking Out Loud. Don't forget, guys, to get your order in for the Sunday special, only $10. They'll deliver to you. Check them out on Facebook, or you can add them on Snapchat and get your order in ASAP. This is Speaking Out Loud. E-Rob, I love you, man. You take it easy and enjoy your Sunday.